Thank you, Madam President. Today I rise to discuss the findings of the Flint Water Task Force. This task force, appointed by our governor, has confirmed what I and so many people across the state of Michigan already know to be true. It was Flint's emergency managers, and not the Flint City Council, who made the decision to switch to the Flint River as a water source. It was this very decision that ultimately led to the poisoning of an entire community. The governor's own task force is also recommending a review of the emergency manager law to, and I quote, compensate for the loss of the checks and balances that are provided by representative government. Representative government. Of the people, for the people, by the people, government that we do not have under our current system of emergency management. For far too long, the state has been experimenting on its most vulnerable populations. Madam President, I believe that that is completely unacceptable. We know that the emergency manager law has failed. The governor has acknowledged it. The task force has acknowledged it. Colleagues, I think that it is time for us to acknowledge it as well. It is time to stop pretending that we can fix something that in and of itself is wholly undemocratic. It is time to start taking steps to eliminate it entirely. When you forget that running a state or running a city isn't just about financial solvency, that's when people get hurt. Children's futures fall through the cracks. And we cannot restore trust in government until we demonstrate as legislators to the people of Michigan that we are willing to listen and learn from our mistakes. And let's not forget that when this law was placed on the ballot back in 2012, it was the people of this state who resoundingly rejected it. And so what did we do in response? The legislature ignored the will of the people. They signed it back into law, and they did so with an appropriation which made it referendum-proof. And now we're sticking Michigan taxpayers with the bill. The governor said today that he wants to hear from the legislature on this issue. And so, Madam President, I say that we answer. When the Joint Select Committee on the Flint Water Public Health Emergency meets in Flint next week, we should bring the 4 emergency managers before that committee to answer our questions. But most importantly, Madam President, we must give my legislation, Senate Bill 734, which would repeal Michigan's emergency manager law, a fair hearing and a vote. Thank you, and I'd like my remarks printed in the Journal.